Din 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 dan ya din din din.
Hi, I'm Gindi Walkup, and this is Delagoquier's Stepping in the Guards. So that's from the side. Now I'll show you that from the front, if we've got enough room for it. From the front. And finally, from the other side. This is a great drill for practicing all of the key guards in the later Bolognese sword in one hand system. And you can also do it obviously with a dagger or a cloak or even a buckler as well. So let's walk through it in bits now. You start with two options. You can do a Roverso tondo or a Falso manco, so a false edge rising cut. I prefer the Roverso tondo because we do the Falso manco later on. So Roverso tondo and then a Roverso squalimbrato. From there we do a Falso and a mandritto. Then we do the Tramazzone. Then Falso and Roverso, so that's that Falso manco I was talking about earlier. And now for this bit, we're doing a Roverso ridoppio, and you want to lift the tip up, lower it down to your side, and then raise it forwards as you step forwards. Coming up here into Guardia della Corno, you're going to thrust an Imbroccata, finishing in Porta di Ferro Stretta. From here, Falso and a Roverso again as we pass back, and a Tramazzone 1, Tramazzone 2, Falso and Roverso, back into Coda Longa Stretta, and then back to guard. So those are the mechanics. Now the names of the guards as we go. We have Coda Longa Stretta. My hand's in the Coda Longa position and I'm ready to thrust, so it's Stretta. Cingiara, Porta di Ferro Stretta. I'm ready to thrust. My left foot is forwards and my sword is on my inside line. I'm closing the inside. Porta di Ferro Stretta, my right foot is forward, so it's regular Porta di Ferro. I'm ready to thrust, so it's Porta di Ferro Stretta. And then Coda Longa Alta, my hand is high, I'm ready to make a cut. My left foot is forwards. And finally, Guardia della Corno, my right foot is forwards, although my left could be forwards as well, it's the same guard. My point is directed towards the other person's chest. Porta di Ferro Stretta, Coda Longa Alta again, Porta di Ferro Stretta, Cingiara, Porta di Ferro Stretta, Coda Longa Stretta, and then I add that bit back to the start. Learning stepping the guards. So once you've gotten to the point where you can do each of the individual bits in isolation, then you want to start to put it all together. And the best way to put it together is just to build up from a little chunk up to a longer chunk. So the general schema that I use is, okay, let's do the start. Great, I got to Coda Longa Stretta, everything was correct, awesome. I'm going to do that bit and then I'll add the next bit on. Falso manco, mandritto into Cingiara, Porta di Ferro. Okay, cool, that worked. 1, 2, let's add the third guard. Tramazzone. Great, that's feeling comfortable. I'm going to keep going. As soon as I reach a point where I'm dropping a little bit, that's where I want to keep practicing for a while. And then adding on bits. You can also interval from, instead of starting at the start and going to the end, you could start at the end and come back to the start. Or you can just pick some tricky bits in the middle, practice them, and then keep adding on things at the end and at the start until you've connected it to the whole thing. The important point is to practice the bit you're actually having trouble with. If you can always get the start right, maybe skip that bit and work on the difficult bit until you've fixed it, and then add it back in. So that's how I approach learning a little form like that. I recommend you do too. See you next time.